The claw grip, or versions of the claw grip, the saw grip and other varieties and variations on that have become really popular. I'm going to tell you today and show you today that most of you should not use the claw grip. It's not a good way for you to put your hands on the putter unless you fit a very specific type. And most of you who do use the claw grip are doing it the wrong way. Let's go. The purpose of the claw grip, a lot of people started using a claw grip because our wrists move and hinge a lot. And you want to take some of that out of it, so people started putting the putter in the web of this hand, and sure enough, with your wrists just really don't bend that way nearly as much as they bend this way. And so using a claw grip, you can be a lot less wristy and push the putter straight up the line. The problem, and this is where most of you use the claw grip wrong, is you go on the putter this way, and so while your right hand moves straight up and down the line, your left wrist still wobbles all over the place. And so what you should do, if and only if, after you watch this video, you're still convinced you should use the claw at all, is left hand more on top so that it's similar to the right. Now your wrists are working together and they're not bending, they're staying together. Make sense? Let's talk about who should and should not use the claw grip. Only a very small group of people should use the claw grip. Put your hands straight out in front of you like this. You can do that while you're watching this video. Now, start to make a golf swing or a putting stroke, it doesn't matter. But think about more of a golf swing. Start to make a golf swing, take your hands back. Stop about here. Let's do it again. Stop about here. You see how my hands are now? This is what would be called David Adele calls it a cover golfer, but notice my left palm is pointed downward, or back of my left hand is pointed downward. My right palm is pointed downward. When you start your swing, if you get to there, that is a type of person who maybe should use a claw grip. Chris DeMarco, if you watch him golf, you see videos of him, he's very much like that. He's the professional golfer who invented the claw grip. So if you're like that, that's one reason, but that still doesn't mean you should use the claw grip. Here's the other thing. Take a tape measure and measure your arm from the wrist to the elbow, and then from the elbow all the way up to your shoulder. Wrist to this joint to here. Now, if your lower arm is 1.5 inches or more longer than your upper arm, then you should use the claw grip most definitely. Other than that, you shouldn't. And you go, well, John, why would you say that? Let me get a putter and I'll demonstrate. So when we putt, if you're doing it right, you set up, you have your grip, you don't want your elbows flying all over the place, so your elbows are kind of locked in at your side. If this hinge from here down is longer, then there's going to be more of a tendency to be swinging a gate and moving your wrist all over the place. The claw will help with that and take some of that away. If your arms are the same length, then you don't need the claw grip at all. In fact, if you're a cover golfer and your hands are here like this on your backswing where they're pointing down towards the ground, you think, oh, I do that, maybe I need the claw grip. No, what you still can use as a way to get your wrist out of it, take your hands under and use an under grip. So you should only use the claw if on your takeaway your hands are pointed, your palm of your right hand is pointed and the back of your left hand pointed down to the ground, and if this joint is 1.5 inches or more longer, not 1.25 inches longer, not 1 3/8 inches, without going into boring scientific and physiological details in your body and the physics of that. I've done the research, just trust me on that. You don't need the claw grip unless you have both of those two things, then and only then. Outside of that, an under grip is going to take the wrist out of your stroke, and that will help you make more putts. If you appreciate this video, give us a thumbs up. If you got new information you didn't know before, give us the thumbs up. If you know somebody who thinks the claw grip is the only thing to use, or somebody who has these characteristics and maybe needs to try the claw grip, give them a share. Comment below on other things that you'd like to see us review and talk about to help you make more putts.